Hiya, welcome to GGKCS, the multi-generational podcast that's FlossTube. I can't talk today, I need more coffee. For fans of all things knitting, cross-stitching, geeky, I'm Cece, and I'm so glad you're here today. Today is Sunday, the 16th of May, 2021, and this is episode 443. I'd like to say a big welcome back. Love y'all to all returning viewers, and a big hiya to any new viewers. Thanks for giving us a shot. Hope you enjoy the show. My other half, Dami, who is my 21-year-old kid, is in university, and so they're on the episode every other week. So this is an off week for them. So this week, you get me. But I do have 2 FOs to show you, and some yummy yarn, and all kinds of goodness. Do I have anything this week? It has been warm in Seattle this week. I have a fan going, which thankfully the editing software I use for the podcast, I can take out the background noise because it's too warm. There's no AC here in this flat. So I have one of those tall oscillating fans. It's not oscillating. It's pointed directly on me, but I've ordered a second one and it's supposed to be delivered today and just in time for it to cool off for the entire week. It's fine. I will need 2 fans this summer, for sure. What else this week? Oh, there has been pollen in the air and has making me ill. I had to do a virtual doctor's appointment with my doctor to get prescription because the allergies were triggering my migraines. And I actually had to call out for a day of work this week, which is probably why I got so much crafting done, because I just sat and did nothing that day. Other than, I sat and watched TV and crafted all day. No, that's a lie. I soaked in the bath for quite a while and read an entire book that was so good. I'll tell you about it in a minute. So hopefully these new medications are going to help but being able to call out from work means that I have worked there more than 90 days, which means I am now able to use my paid time off. So that was a positive. So, okay, that's enough jabber. Let's get started so I can show you all this stuff that is piled on my desk over here. All right, here we go. All right, now we're going to talk about what is on my needles. Something all new on my needles. So, in my adorable kitty project bag from Little Fish Stitches, I am working on birthday socks for my bestie's oldest son, Noah. And I'm using my French Vanilla Cappuccino sock pattern on US 1.5, 2.5 mil needles. And the yarn, I have not worked with this brand of yarn in a while, and it's been so lovely to be back with it. West Yorkshire Spinners, Signature 4-ply in the Fairy Lights colorway. And here is my progress so far. How fun is this? So if you've been with us for a while, you might recognize this yarn because I ordered 2 skeins of it and I knit Dami a pair of socks out of it, and then I was going to knit myself a pair of socks out of it, and I just haven't done it yet. But I decided that I'm probably actually going to knit a pair of shorty socks out of this for me because my sock drawer is full of regular length socks that I've knit, but I don't have as many shorty pairs, and so I think I'm going to do a pair of shorty socks for me out of this colorway, but there still will be enough to knit Noah socks. But I can't remember if I told y'all this or if I just told my Patreon people this in the weekly vlog, but I messaged Katie and was like, hey, what size shoes is Noah wearing now? And she was like, so he's able to wear my CC socks. So the size socks that I knit for Katie, for Dami, for me, Noah is now wearing that size. I'm sure that's not going to stay. I'm sure he's going to continue growing. Because he's little. He's 10. Is he going to be 10 maybe? That might be right. He might be turning 10. Oh my gosh. He was just a baby when we met him. Yeah. And so then I also asked her if he would prefer heels or tube socks, because I've knit tube socks for him all along because that way they last longer. But she said heels. And so that's totally fine. That's fine. So, yeah. So I cast on, did the toe, and I've done like about a dozen rows on the foot. So, yeah, making progress on these, and I love working with self-striping, and I love working with shirts or spinners. Oh my gosh, so much. One of my very favorite yarns, and I think I'm going to have to get some more maybe in, so much of what is in my stash in my sock yarns right now leans more towards what is perceived as feminine colors. And not as much as what is perceived as masculine colors. Some people don't care, and that's totally fine. Unless they like specifically told me that they wanted socks like in hot pink or something, I probably would not knit those for like Jeremy or Noah or Izzy. But I mean, like a colorway with pink in it, like this is pink in it. And I think Noah's going to be totally fine with it. I mean, he's been wearing Katie's socks, and a lot of the socks I've knit for her are pink. So, but yeah, so I might get some more West Yorkshire spinners that maybe leans just a little bit more towards the masculine, just so that I'm not knitting with hot pink. Unless it's for those of us who do love hot pink. So, anyway, whatever. Okay, that is what's on my needles, which means I have some FOs. So let's move on to the next segment. All right, now let's talk about my 2 finished projects for this week. First up is the preemie hat I was knitting last Sunday. This is number 19 for the year. This is from my free top-down preemie hat pattern that you can find on our website, javapurldesigns.com. I did this on US 6's 4mm needles, and the yarn is, the variegated is Brene Softy Baby in the Princess Pebbles colorway, and the pink is Brene Cotton Tots in the strawberry colorway. So that's just a fun mix, and number 19 for the year. And actually, I have already finished today's preemie hat, but I'm going to save it till next week to show you, because I won't have an FO of Noah's socks next week. So I attended a Patreon stitch and chat this morning for Michelle Bendy Stitchy, who I support on Patreon. So I was able to knit almost the entire preemie hat during the stitch and chat. So that was fun. And then oh my gosh, like I have to lean way back here so you can see them. These are Jeremy's birthday socks for this year. This is for my bestie's husband. And I, again, used my French Vanilla Cappuccino sock pattern that you can get on our website, javapurldesigns.com. I did these on US 1.5, 2.5mm needles, and the yarn is Sunset Sister Everything Earth in the Blue Christmas Without You colorway. And yes, Jeremy has huge feet. So actually, these sock blockers are meant to be like this, with this being the foot. So this would normally fit like a women's like 7 to 9 US shoe size. I totally like flip them and use the leg to block Jeremy's socks. They're not quite long enough like the blocker, because it like there's a little flap here, but it at least gives it some structure. But look at that yarn. Can you see the blue and the tan undertones? It's so pretty. So pretty. Whoops, I dropped it. So yes, so these are finished. So what I'm going to do, his birthday is at the end of the month, but I'm going to hold on to them until I finish Noah's socks, and then I'll ship them together, because they've got to ship to the UK, and shipping to the UK is expensive. So, and I believe this was FO number 29 for me for this year. So 19 preemie hats, and then 10 other knitted and cross-stitched items. So I am making progress on things, and I know Jeremy will love these. He there was, when we were still living in Scotland, we went over to celebrate his birthday one year. I miss being able to do that, to celebrate each other's birthdays in person together. Anyway, we went over to celebrate, and I had already given him at least one pair of birthday socks the previous year. So they were over there, and I get the second pair, this next pair out that I've knit for his birthday for that year, out to give to him, and he was so excited. He was like, I purposely didn't put on socks hoping that you were going to give me socks for my birthday. So yeah, I love knitting for people who love wearing the things I knit for them. That whole family Katie's family is so knitworthy. They are the ones that have coined the name CC Socks for the socks that I knit. So Jeremy's going to love his CC Socks. I don't know how many pairs I've knit for him over the years. Probably like 7 or 8 pairs over the years. He only gets them once a year. I'm like, you get 1 pair a year because you got big feet, dude. And he understands. So anyway, so those were my FOs for this week. But I made some really great progress on my cross stitching. So let's move on to the next segment and I'll show it to you. And now it's time for FlossTube. Okay, first up. Let's see if I have the picture. Oh, I do. Planned ahead, CC. You're so awesome. In my beautiful project bag, I don't want to show you how much progress I've made yet. This is a beautiful project bag from Joanna from Stitching the High Notes. This is like one of her original ones. I believe that there's been some changes in the style. But okay, there we go. I took it out so that I can show you. So there's that. So, and it's the appropriate project bag because I'm stitching Helianthus by Ink Circles. And I'm stitching it on just a 14 count pale green Aida with mostly DMC called for colors. I think I had to adjust one because I just didn't have it in my stash. But look at where I am at. I did all of that dark color this week. That is a lot. I think I might have done a little bit of the previous color too. I don't remember. But I know I've done all of this dark color this week. So, so what I need to do is I need to finish filling in the dark color. And then in the very center here is a purple, as well as like in the, it's in this like little kind of section here is that purple. And then in this section here is like an orange. And then out here in this outer dark section, it's filled with yellow. And then it will be done. So, I'm going to finish this dark color first. And then what I'll probably do is go ahead and do the purples. And then the orange, and then that way I know everything else is just filling in with the yellow. So, but I love how this is turning out. This will not be my last Ink Circles pattern because it has been so much fun to stitch. And yeah, I'm really, really enjoying it. Let me get it down in there. Okay, so there's that. And then the other thing that I'm stitching on in my Winnie the Pooh project bag from Knit Run Dig, and all of the things that I am using to do this project, pattern keeper, needle binders, grime guards, all the stuff is linked in the show notes at ggkcs.com. So this is Edinburgh Castle by Terra Luna Stitchery. It's ginormous, as you can tell. Look at those numbers. 624 by 426 full coverage. I'm doing this in tent stitch, which means you only do one leg. So I'm doing 2 strands over 1, but only doing half the stitch. And so I'm using this as my 25/7 project. which I still don't know who was the person who originated this. My friend Michelle Bendy Stitchy is doing it. The way she's doing it is she is stitching 25 minutes a day on a project, and she just had an FO from 25/7. That's epic. And so she's pulled out another project and is doing another project is 25/7. I am doing it as 25 stitches per day because that's what fits with my schedule. One day a week I am doing 50 stitches so that each week I finish 200 stitches. I finish 2 full squares. I have a fire station right down the alley from me. So we get fire sirens. So here's where I'm at. So this week I did these I finished 2 squares. So I started doing this on a Saturday. So between Saturday and Friday, I finished 200 stitches. And I post this in my Instagram stories every day, but I'm only posting it in like my feed on social media on Fridays. So the numbers that I'm about to tell you were as of what I completed on Friday. I stitched 25 more stitches yesterday. I have not stitched on this today yet. So does that make sense? So that's why there's 25 stitches in this square, which is very hard to see because it's very pale. That's because that's from yesterday. So Friday, when I stopped right there, I was at 32,400 stitches out of 265,824, which is 12.189% complete. So I'll hit 12.2 this week, next week. So, and you know, obviously there's a whole bunch of the stuff I finished in there because I have finished 6 out of 60 pages. So this is going to take forever, but that's all right because 200 stitches a week is more than 0 stitches a week. So yeah, so it's been really fun to have this back out again. You know, I'm 15 days after I stitched today. I'll be 16 days into doing this every day. You know, and if, you know, at some point my schedule changes enough where I could maybe do the 25 minutes a day, we'll see. I mean, but like I said, you know, 25 stitches is more than 0 stitches. And so I would rather be putting in progress on and putting in the stitches and making progress on it than it just to sit. So, okay. I don't think there's any more cross stitch content in the episode, but you should stick around anyway because I'm happy to have you. All right, let's move on to the next segment. And now it's time for our favorite part of the show, Yummies. What are Yummies, Cece? So normally I ask Dami. Yummies are our current favorite things we like, things we want to talk to you about. Yummies. So we got our Knit Crate box in the post. I don't know if this is the May one or the April one because they had some issues because of their supply issues because of the COVID. And that's, you know, that's just what happens. There was a couple of cute little flower stickers in here. I'll put this in my sticker stash because I love to use stickers in my Happy Planner. I was hoping to have, they had a big sticker sale at Happy Planner, and it said that it was going to be delivered today, but that's a lie. It's not going to be delivered today because even though it says scheduled delivery by the end of the day, last tracking, it was still in California. So maybe it'll be here tomorrow. We shall see. Anyway, okay, so the yarn that we got in this box is Audine Wools by Knit Crate Bloom. It's an 80% alpaca wool, 10% silk, 10% camel, DK weight, 100 grams, 231 yards, and the colorway is Pansy. So it's this kind of maroon, but it's got some brown and red undertones to it. That is closer to the color right there. And it looks like it's chain plied to me. So there we go. And then they've gone back to doing these little booklets with patterns in them. So this was the Petal issue, P-E-T-A-L, so like flowers. So they had quite a broad range of colors that you could, you just randomly get colors as far as I know. So the patterns in this issue are Folio by Amy Gunderson. It's a shawl. Intermediate skill level. That's what I was looking for. Okay, here we go. That's a... So you've got a nice stockinette stitch and then some lace. There is a crochet pattern for the Pretty Petals bag by Liz Salazar. That would be good for like going to like a farmer's market or something. Skill level is beginner. So there we go. And then sock patterns that are in this issue is Bright Side of the Moon Socks by Megan Williams of Just Run Knit Designs. This is an intermediate or adventurous beginner pattern. And then there's the Fireside Crochet Socks by Crochet by Julie Sarah Desjardins. It's an intermediate level pattern. There we go. And then next box's theme is Happy Little Schemes. So I imagine there's going to be a lot of green tones. We shall see. And we receive this Knit Crate parcel in exchange for us talking about it on the podcast. But they also give us a coupon code. You can use the coupon code, all capital letters, Geeky20, so G-E-E-K-Y, and then the numbers 20 for 20% off your first order. It will work to discount the first month of a recurring monthly subscription or any of the shop items. There's a link in our show notes at ggkcs.com for you to click right over to Knit Crate. And I think that's the only yummy I have this week. Because you really don't need to see my allergy medicine, but I was very grateful for it. It was very much a yummy. So, yeah. Okay, well, I have some books I wanted to talk about. Well, at least one in particular that I want to talk about. So let's go on to our next segment. And now I'm going to talk about what I've been reading, watching, and listening to. Just a reminder about our RAL read-along. This is a challenge for you to read 15 minutes a day, every day. I don't care what you're reading, as long as you're reading. Audiobooks do count. By participating in the seasonal alongs, which there's a thread in our Facebook group to enter, you earn entries into our year-long challenge. And then at the beginning of 2022, we will draw for 3 grand prize winners from all those entries, and you'll win a big prize bundle. So all the details are in our show notes at ggkcs.com as well as in the Facebook group. All right, what have I been reading? I am still reading The Body Keeps the Score, Brain, Mind, and Body in the Healing of Trauma by Bessel van der Kolk. I'm reading that for counseling. I am also reading One Coin Found, How God's Love Stretches to the Margins by Emmy Kegler. I'm reading this for my LGBTQ plus faith book club. And I think I'm at around like 65-ish% done. That sounds right. So hopefully I'll have that finished before we record again next week. Y'all, are you ready for this? After almost a year and a half, I finished rereading the 5th book in the Harry Potter series, The Order of the Phoenix, that I've been rereading along with Harry Potter and the Sacred Text podcast and Swish and Flick and All Potter podcast. This is the final chapter, The Second War Begins. So, I read the chapter, marked it finished on my Goodreads, listened to the episode just this morning from Harry Potter and the Sacred Text. They have another couple more episodes about the book that are not chapter specific, so I will listen to those as well. And then before I started recording, I downloaded the new episode of Swish and Flick, and they are dividing the chapter up into 3 parts. So it will be probably, and then I don't know if they'll take some kind of break afterwards or not. They might. So we're looking at probably mid-June at the earliest before we start book 6. So I finished reading The Survivors by Jane Harper. It was pretty good. It was kind of a suspense mystery, but not too suspenseful. That's a weird way to say. But there was some suspense, but not too much suspense. I also read book number 7 in the Fox and O'Hare series by Janet Ivanovich and Steve Hamilton. That book is called The Bounty, and I've talked about the previous books back when I read them, but this is a series where it's a FBI agent. Excuse me, I'm gonna have to have some water. And she's working with a thief to try to catch other thieves. So the thieves don't know that he's working with the FBI, but like a portion of the FBI knows. But they are trying to solve a treasure map before the bad people solve the treasure map, and it's set in the UK. And so it was kind of a fun thriller type. Okay, the book that I read this week that was so good is called Hush, Little Baby, a novel by R.H. Herron. Many, many moons ago, while we were still in Scotland, we had Rachel Herron on our podcast. She was a guest on our podcast. Because she writes under Rachel Herron as well as R.H. Herron. And this was a suspense. And it was so good. And I was surprised about who did it in the end. However, there needs to be a trigger warning around harm done to pregnant women, infertility, kidnapping, But yeah, but it was really, really good. And I will tell the truth that on Thursday, when I did not go to work, I got in the bathtub to soak and started reading the book. And the bathwater got cold because I did not get out till I finished the book. It was so good. I am a speed reader. Y'all know that by now. Obviously, with the amount of reading I do every week, obviously I'm a speed reader of fiction. So, but it was a very good. Highly recommend Hush Little Baby. And then I am currently reading Down Comes the Night by Allison Saft. And it's been a slow start. I've been told it's a good book, so I'm trying, but it's a slow start for me. So we shall see. Okay, watching. Oh my gosh, y'all. Because I'm working remotely now, 5 out of every 10 shifts, I typically have the TV on almost all day long because I need noise. So I'll pause it like when I am making phone calls or when I'm pulling voicemails, but otherwise I have it playing in the background like all day. I'm still watching House Hunters. I'm watching Law & Order Special Victims Unit. I finished season 15, and I'm watching season 16, as well as the episodes for the That's Messed Up and SVU podcast, which is not safe for children, but it's a really good podcast. I also started rewatching season 1 of Gilmore Girls with the I Am All In with Scott Patterson podcast. I've listened to the first 2 episodes of the podcast. It is so good. So good. First episode, he had Yannick Truesdale, who played Michelle, on. Second episode, he had, I'm not going to be able to think of their actual names, but the actresses that played Babette and Gypsy. So good. So good. So I need to watch episode 3 of season 1 because the next episode should be dropping, I think, late tonight. Is usually, I think that's when they drop, is from my time zone, like late Sunday nights. So, I have started watching, after some recommendations, Shadow and Bone. It's a series on Netflix. And I need to rewatch the last episode that I was watching because I started dozing off because I didn't sleep well on Friday night. Pink had a seizure in the middle of the night, so that interrupted sleep and all of that. So I did not sleep well, and so I started getting drowsy on the couch yesterday. So I need to rewatch the last episode that I was watching just to get the story. But apparently there's also it's this based on a book series, so I've put that on my TBR list. And then what else am I watching? Lots of things. I'll put it all in the show notes. Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist has a place dear to my heart. Handmaid's Tale. Oh my God. Yeah. I won't spoil it, but the final scene, like, my jaw dropped and hit the floor. I was like, oh, wow. Masked Singer this week who was unmasked. It was Hanson. They were the Russian dolls, the 3 of them. So that was fun. And then listening to all those podcasts that I mentioned earlier, as well as my favorite murder podcast, random Spotify playlists, and other podcasts, and FlossTubes, and all those things. So, all right. Well, let's move on to the next segment. Well, with that, made it to the end of the show. Yay. Just a reminder that our March, April, May Sheepy Spring Owl is ongoing for anything you knit, crochet, weave, spin, stitch, or sew. You have about 2 weeks left to get your projects finished and posted in the Facebook group. A reminder about the Pride Along that we are co-hosting with quite a few other podcasts. This runs from the 17th of May, so today when this episode goes live, through the 30th of June, 2022. It's over a year-long along. Yesterday, I recorded a Zoom informational video with some of the people who are co-hosting this, and so I'm going to put a link to that in the show notes, and it has all the rules, all the details. Our hashtag for it is hashtag GGKCS Pride Along 2122. Any other announcements? I don't think so. Dami should be back with me next week. And yeah, always love when they're here with us. Okay, we'd like to say a big thank you. Love y'all. I'm holding the remote in my hand and it's making it hard to make it hard. We love y'all. To everyone who supports the podcast, no matter how it is you do it, we are grateful for each and every one of you who is a part of our lives and our community. But an especially big thank you to those of you who support us financially, because it does cost us a little money to do the podcast, mostly for shipping out of prizes, technology behind the scenes, things like that. There are quite a few ways you can support the podcast financially. The main ones are Patreon and YouTube Join, which is a way you can pledge a certain amount of money to your favorite creatives and earn a little, no, that's wrong. And earn rewards or perks based on the level you donate at. brain. I need more coffee. If you would like more information or want to sign up, you can go to patreon.com/GGKCS or click the join button under any of our YouTube videos. If you'd like to make a one-time donation, there's a PayPal button in the sidebar of our website. We are bookshop.org affiliates, which is an online bookstore with a mission to financially support local independent bookstores. If you purchase a book from our shop, we earn a commission, as well as local independent bookstores earning money from the purchase. Our shop is at bookshop.org/shop/GGKCS. And we are amazon.com.co.uk and .ca affiliates. If you're going to shop on Amazon, if you go to our site first, click on your appropriate Amazon link, do your shopping as normal. We earn a little money back based on what you purchase. It doesn't cost you anything extra. It's a great way to support the podcast by doing something you'd be doing anyway. You can find us online at GGKCS. There you will, GGKCS.com, sorry. GGKCS.com. There you will find links to everywhere else we are online, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Instagram, our Facebook group, all the places. And with that, I'm gonna tell you, it's so hard to change it to singular when I'm used to saying we. It's all right. We hope that you really have a great week ahead. Get those vaccines when you can, if you're able. Dami gets their second dose next week. So, yeah. But continue to be smart and wise, and wear your mask where it's required for you to wear masks. Be respectful of those who maybe have not had the ability to get their vaccine yet. We have gotten so many phone calls at my clinic at the Children's Hospital this week because it's been open now to 12 to 15-year-olds to get Pfizer. So we've had lots and lots of phone calls. So I'm glad that we're getting to a place where we can start vaccinating some of these younger kids as well, especially since if they're back in school in person, they're around so many other people every day. So, but just continue to make wise decisions, wear your mask where it's needed, get your vaccine, and stay safe and healthy. And until we see you again, happy crafting, and we'll talk to you again soon. Stay tuned after the credits for a very cute video of Pink Purl. I rewatched it this morning, and it's very cute.
What's going on here? What's going on here? Pinky, are you so upset? What's going on? Why are you so upset? What's Dami doing to you? Dami, what are you doing to Pinky?
Clipping her claws.
Oh no, it's so tragic, Dami. Dami, I know why I have my claws clipped, but Mama keeps screaming when I put my claws in her wig, so I think I need them clipped, even though I know like it. I'm trying to zoom in on her. Hi, honey. Oh, those are very big eyes. It's okay. I bet when you get done, Dami will give you cookies. No, no cookies? No. Oh, that's so sad. Yeah, just don't hiss it, Dami, okay? Oh, I know. So sad.